Welcome to this Acume how-to video. We will show you how to configure supplier and customer approval rules. To get the approval rules, go to admin and then you'll see the tab for approvals and you'll see customer approval rules and supplier approval rules. Now these are separated because certain size businesses may have different people in charge of the spending and the customer accounts. So customer approval rules may be taken care of by an account manager, supplier approval rules which cover both inbound invoices and outbound purchase orders, as those are being sent to your suppliers where you're spending money, could be done by a purchasing team. Now inside Acume, both the custom approval rules configuration and layout and the way that it works is identical to the way that the supplier rules are laid out. And you can see in this case, to start with, that the auto approve up to rule is turned on, which means any invoice coming in from a supplier up to $100 will automatically approved, and any order going out with a value up to $100 will automatically use the razor as the approver. And as I scroll down, I can see most of the other rules at this time are deactivated, but I've got a global rule turned on. Now this global rule might be applicable for a smaller business that has an accountant or bookkeeper processing their invoices for them. They can do that work and then the owner of the business can still approve the expense as it goes out. But for now, let's turn that rule off by clicking deactivate and let's turn on the cost center rule group. So inside here I can look up my cost center, Auckland, and in this case I'm going to say up to a value, so let's say 1,000, and let's say condition only Shane, and I need to make sure that I click from the autocomplete so I can save the rule. So now I've got a rule where for the Auckland cost center up to $1,000 only Shane can approve those spends. If I need to go up a tier, I could go up to any value, and let's have Shane again, and let's also have Jordan. So now I've saved that rule, so you can see anything up to $1,000 Shane's able to approve it, anything over that Shane and Jordan must approve it. Now as we scroll up, we can see that we've got other approval rules here for dimension, which these are all turned off at the moment, but if I had a chart of accounts with multiple dimensions, I could rename these in the config area, which will be covered off in a separate video, and then I could then activate these. So as I'm scrolling back up here, let's turn on supplier rule group and GL rule group, and I know that project codes aren't enabled at the moment, so if I try and turn that on, it's telling me that I need to turn that on at the config rule. So for now, let's just look at the relationship between supplier and GL codes. So as these rules are hierarchical, i.e. one of them must come first, because I could have something that falls across both a supplier and a GL, I need to choose which one is going to take precedence. And you can see that I just switched out to the GL code was more important, but I might take that back to be the supplier. And we normally see these types of rules being activated where we have a larger company which may have a marketing or an IT manager, so they may pick up the approvals related to their GL code, and in those conditions they may also be specifically monitoring a certain supplier to ensure that staff aren't getting around the approval rules by coding purchases to a different GL. And this is particularly prudent for companies that are listed and going through regular audits. So as you can see, the approval conditions are very flexible within Acume, setting everything from a smaller right up to a larger business.